Yes guys, and what's happening? Welcome back to Sean's World of Sports. Now, with the Premier League just days away, today I'm going to share with you my league table. So we'll start from the bottom and we'll work our way to first place. So let's dive in. 20th I've got West Brom. I think the squad's quite poor really. Okay, you done well in the Championship last season, but you've not really strengthened in the key areas. I think you'll find goal scoring quite hard in the Premier League. You've got obviously Charlie Austin, Robson, Kanu, really, as your only strikers. Defensively, I think you'll struggle as well. I'm not sure you'll keep too many clean sheets in the Premier League. I know you was after Shane Duffy before he went to Celtic. I think he would have massively improved you, but obviously you didn't get him. And yeah, I just think your squad overall is a bit light and doesn't look really Premier League ready to me. 19th place, another newly promoted side, and that is Fulham. Again, the problem with the squad, I think you was better equipped for the Premier League 2 years ago when you won the playoffs. I feel that your squad's a bit thin. Okay, you've got Mitrovic up front, which will be a big help, but I don't think your defence is good enough to stay up. I think you'll just ship in too many goals, like what your problem was a few years ago. 18th place, this may shock many people. It's a bit left field, but who expected Watford and Bournemouth to go down last season? And I've got Burnley. I just think it's going to be one push too far for them to stay up again with the sort of budget that they have. They've obviously rumours that they could be losing Chris Wood. Ashley Barnes, I think he's still injured. You haven't really got any backup apart from that. Your squad's again quite thin on paper really. It's not really a Premier League squad. I think you'll massively struggle this season, and unfortunately I think you'll finish in 18th place. 17th I've got Aston Villa, where they finished last season. Actually, this is depending on if you keep Jack Grealish really. You may be stuck with Burnley if you lose Grealish, but I think your defence is your biggest problem, letting in too many goals, and obviously at the other end of the pitch not scoring too many goals ultimately. And I think yeah, you obviously missed out on Callum Wilson, which was your big target. If you get Ollie Watkins, that will be an improvement on your strike force. But I just think Aston Villa, I think you'll be okay. But a lot depends on what happens to Jack Grealish. 16th place, I've got Crystal Palace. Now, that may be a surprise again to some, but I think last season they didn't win a game for the last 8 or 9 games. And since they've been promoted, they've sort of really been solid, but on occasion flirted with relegation. I think you'll be okay, but I think goal scoring for you, again, it's a common theme as you can see. Goal scoring will be a problem. You obviously bought in Eze from QPR, which he's a good player, don't get me wrong, but he's totally unproven at this Premier League, and there's always a risk with buying players from the Championship if they can step up at the level above. 15th, I've got the last newly promoted side, Leeds. I know many people have been tipping Leeds to maybe crash into the top 9 or 10. I don't think so. I think you'll be solid, have a good solid season under Marcelo Bielsa and finish 15th place. You made some good signings. I think Ben White's a massive loss to you. But you bought in Koch, is it? So we'll have to see how he gets on. And you bought the Spanish lad up front. So yeah, I don't think you should be expecting to finish in the top half like some of your fans think. I think 15th place, most generally Leeds fans will take that. 14th place, I've got West Ham. Now I know a lot of West Ham fans reckon they'll go down, but not for me. I know you just lost Dean Garner, which your captain wasn't happy about, Mark Noble, and the fans. I think you'll be okay though. I think you've got enough quality in the squad to stay up. It's going to be interesting though to see if you do spend big money on foreign players again. I see just this week you've been linked with Tolkowski from Burnley, so that will be a good addition in your defence. I think you'll be solid. I think you'll be 14th. 13th, I've got Brighton. Now that may be high for some of you, but they was 15th last season, the best ever finish, and they've got some good additions, Adam Lallana and Joel Veltman. Obviously, striking wise again, you don't score too many goals, but I think your defence is quite solid. It'll be interesting to see if you bring in a striker, because after losing Glenn Murray, you've only got Aaron Connolly and Neil Maupay. Be interesting to see how you go about that. I think if you don't get a striker, you'll be generally in trouble. But I think Tony Bloom knows what he's doing, so you'll be okay. 12th, Sheffield United. A little downgrade on last season. I think they'll be found out by teams now. They know what to expect from them. I don't think you'll have second season syndrome as it was and be relegated. I think you'll be comfortably sort of higher mid-table, and I think your additions have been good so far. Obviously brought in Ramsdale from Bournemouth and the 2 defenders from Derby, so yeah, Sheffield United fans, no need to worry, you'll be 12th place. Southampton, just above those, on the 11th place. Obviously Danny Ings was in great form last season. He was great after lockdown, and he was quite impressive. I know you lost 8-0 to Leicester earlier in the season, but you really never looked back from that moment onwards. And I think under your manager, I think you'll be fine. 11th place, which brings me on to Newcastle in 10th. Great additions to your squad this week with Callum Wilson and Ryan Fraser. I think you're after Lewis, aren't you, from Norwich as well, so that would be a great addition to your defence. I think, although you're not happy with Mike Ashley and how the whole takeover thing went, I think you can be quietly confident this season you'll have a good season, maybe even a decent cup run. But Newcastle, I've got you 10th place, bang on halfway. Into the top 10 we go, and 9th place I've got Everton. Great business so far. You obviously just signed Rodriguez, you're after a few more players, and I've seen you've been linked with Maxi Gomez from Valencia, which will be a great striker. I think he'll combine well with Richarlison. Let me know what you think, Everton fans. Are you quietly confident for the top 6 this season? I know a few people have mentioned that. Yeah, so let me know. 8th place, we've got Leicester. I think they won't have as good a season as they did last year, obviously. And I think the Europa League may take bearing on where they finish. They haven't got the biggest of squads. And I think, the Europa League, Thursday, Sunday, I think that'll be quite draining on the squad. Hence why I've got you in 8th place. 7th place, I've got Wolves. Now, Wolves haven't got European football next season. I think they'll be quietly confident that they may be able to crash higher than that. But I think just because, your squad isn't the biggest again, and you haven't really got flair players. You've got good accumulative players as a whole team, but you've not really got one standout player apart from Traore, and I think you're maybe over-reliant on him. So Wolves, I've got you in 7th. Into the top 6 we go now. 6th place, I've got Arsenal. Maybe you think they'll finish higher than that, but I just think, they made quite a few signings defensively, and that takes time to gel now and again. Arteta's obviously had a good start to his life as Arsenal manager, winning the FA Cup and the Community Shield. Aubameyang looks like he'll be staying. So yeah, Arsenal fans, you've done some good business this summer, and you've also brought Dani Ceballos back as well. So yeah, I think you'll be just miss out on the top 4, and I think you'll be 6th. In 5th, I've got your big rival Spurs. Now that may surprise you again. I've got them that high, but I think under Jose, you'll have a good full season under him. I've been impressed by him on the documentary on Amazon. He gets a lot of detractors, and he's the root one and whatnot. But yeah, I've been impressed by him, and I think him on with a full season, if you get another striker to back up Harry Kane, because obviously we see last season when he done his hamstring in, and you didn't really win many games without him. So I think you'll just miss out on the top 4, but not by much. 4th place, I got Manchester United. Now that may be surprising again. I know I'm saying that a lot, but I think that with Champions League football, and I think with the other cup competitions, they've got a big squad, granted, but they haven't really got the players at that level that you would expect from a Manchester United. Obviously, that changes if they get Jadon Sancho. They just signed Van der Beek in the midfield, but I think defensively, again, it's your problem. I think you'll be fine against teams like Burnley and all that, but I think the top 4 is where you'll come unstuck against the fellow top 4 teams. So Manchester United, you're in 4th place. Chelsea. Now Chelsea have done a lot of business this summer. They've addressed their areas, what they need to do, quite well. I think it's just a goalkeeper you really need now. But Verma, Ziyech, all of those guys, very good signings. I've got you finishing 3rd. I just think, like I've said with Arsenal, and the players need time to gel as a team. You know, there's not been 4 or 5 pre-season games like there would normally be, and I feel that may be a bit of a detriment to the start of the season. You've got a game you should win first up against Brighton, but I think, you know, the squad will need time to gel and get to know each other and all that stuff that you need from top players. So Chelsea, I've got you 3rd, but I would have a caveat. I wouldn't be surprised if you finish higher. Top 2, who's it going to be? City or Liverpool to win the league? For me, Man City. I just feel with Pep Guardiola, you can never write him off, and I think, although they didn't sign Messi, Man City, I think they'll still be fine. I think if they sign Koulibaly at centre back, that will help them massively, and maybe they need another striker to help out Aguero. But other than that, I think it'll be City first and Liverpool second. Liverpool, I think you'll be right up there, but I think you may be 6 or 7 points off Man City this season. I just feel it's too much for your squad to go again and win the league, unfortunately. You may win a couple of cups, maybe the Champions League again, but I don't think you'll win the league this year. So, that's been my Premier League predictions. Let me know who you think will finish where in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share the video around so as many people can watch this as possible. And of course, follow me on Twitter. I'll put my link below. As I say, let me know where you think your team will finish in the league, and if I've just made up a load of rubbish or if it is generally going to be accurate. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time.